What is up, everyone, and welcome to today's daily market outlook. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to dive into the dollar index, and from there on, I'm going to discuss with you the dollar pairs I'm looking at, and afterwards, we're going to look at the JPY basket, and I'm going to discuss with you the JPY pairs I have in my watch list and what I am looking for this coming week. To start off, I want to start with the DXY. We are currently on the daily time frame, and what we can see is that previously we broke bearish swing structure here. We retraced all the way back up and we broke the swing structure into the upside again. This is a signal for me that we are bullish again on the dollar, and as an immediate target, I am looking to go and take out this high. So for me, there is a lot of room for upside still. Then if we're going to look at the technicals, what we can see here is we are swing bullish, as I've just discussed. That's for my checklist, the first one. We look at supply and demand zones. As you can see, we are currently still trading from daily demand. So price came into the highs, we retraced back, we pushed back out again, and now we are back into supply. And actually, we can maybe even say that this is the supply zone now, the daily supply zone. This one. Oh, this one. Okay, so from here on, price came back in and should push back out again following the order flow. Then if we go to the 4-hour time frame, what we can see on the 4-hour is that we pushed up. With this push, we broke the daily swing structure. We came back down again. We took out all the liquidity here, had a first reaction up with a lot of buyers coming into the market. Then we swiped them again, stopping them out, and then the real move up came. But this move is not really strong, and we can see that the bullish momentum starts to slow down a bit. As of now, we retraced back into the discount zone underneath the 0.5. We took out some liquidity. As I have drawn here on the chart, this was what I drew before, meaning this is what I wanted to see. But what we did is we came back into this discount zone, and we immediately pushed back out. And this is not a really strong sign for me, because what I would have loved to see is if this low formed something like this, then one more push underneath, break up, and then continuing upwards. But we didn't get this, and we are now basically in some no man's land for me. So keeping that in mind, for me it's still a bit unclear what the DXY wants to do, because on the other hand we have a supply zone located here for the 4-hour bearish chain. We didn't tap into it yet, so what also can happen is that we tap into this, taking out this liquidity after breaking down. So first sellers, taking them out, then break down, continue downwards, because there is still a lot of liquidity open here, together with the yearly open. So it could be that we retrace down even lower. And what we can expect then is that we retrace down lower towards the yearly open, make a low here, and then see the continuation upwards. But this is still unclear for me, so for me it's a bit of a waiting game. I am currently in one position that I'm going to discuss with you shortly, but I am considering closing that position around break even to just wait and sit out the DXY for some more direction. All right, EU. Continuing with EU. What we can see here is that previously we broke bullish to the upside, as you can see. We then had some really big liquidity open here, and from here you would have expected that if this was your swing, that you retrace back into the discount zone and you want to continue up higher. So this would have been beautiful, taking out this liquidity, then seeing somewhat of an order flow switch and continue back up. Meaning the DXY would continue down. But what we got is that we broke down into the downside, making the swing structure bearish once again. So from that moment on, we can draw the retracement tool from here to here. And what we can expect after a break of structure is a retracement to at least the 0.5 FIB. Then waiting for a change of character there, continuing the move down lower. But sometimes when the momentum is big, as we can see here, price wants to continue down lower. And what I did in this example, if we go to the 4 hour, it's a bit starting to get a bit messy here. So let's change this one to be only visible on the daily. All right, and then delete this one. This is a swing position I'm currently still in, and what I did was I noticed that this was a strong high because we take out the 4 hour liquidity here. We move up, we break down. Everyone thinks we can go down lower. We swipe everyone there, and internally in here we can see break down again, swipe them one more time, and then the real moves to the downside comes. So this was a strong zone for me to trade from. I then looked at the 0.5 FIB and I just placed my limit here to enter on the 0.5, wanting to trade the move down lower with a 1 to 2 risk to reward. But as you can see from that moment on, we've been hovering over break even, and with the current uncertainty in the world going on, I don't want to hold this trade for much longer, and I'm considering closing it, waiting for some more clarity to come into the markets, and then rejoin either on the move back up towards this 0.5 FIB together with this supply zone that's located here on the daily supply zone. So a bit of a two-way scenario. This would be great, and for me currently it would be great if the pair starts trading down lower immediately, but it's in a range currently. So yeah, as I said, I'm thinking about closing this position. Then we have GU. With GU, it's the same as EU. It's a bit unclear for me currently because price action isn't really beautiful considering the ongoing geopolitical events in the world and the uncertainty it brings towards the dollar. For GU, we are still swing bullish because the last thing we did is break up. We also took out major liquidity here, but we didn't show any sign that we want to retrace back to the upside or start the push into the upside once again. So as of now, we are trading lower following the supply chain that formed here. On the 4 hour, what happened last week is that we took out some liquidity over here, but nothing significant. I had placed a alert over here, and I had placed an alert over here. None of those got triggered. This one didn't get triggered with something like a pip of range. So for now, I leave them here. Also, this is just nothing to trade from. So either we break down lower and we wait for more confirmation, or we trade back up higher and we wait for one of those lows to get grabbed. And maybe if things really go crazy and there is a really big de-escalation in the world, then price can shoot up and we can look for longs back into the upside, because there is still a lot of room to take out liquidity that has been building up in the previous weeks. But for now, GU remains uncertain for me, and it will be a waiting game on GU. Then we have NU. On NU, it's a bit of the same. We've been trading down lower the previous weeks. Also over here with a supply chain forming, bringing price down lower, following the supply chain down, coming back in. We came back into supply and we pushed down lower. But as you can see, momentum starts to slow down a bit on this pair. Also, we took out some major liquidity over here. So if DXY starts to retrace down lower, it means that NU can push back up. But for me, in this stage, in this moment of the market, I would want to see this supply chain break, then a retracement, and then looking for longs. But if this does not happen, then NU will not be on my active watch list to trade from, because this is price action I can't do anything with. I can jump into the lower time frame and start looking for some shorts, but then once again, if we look at the daily and we would if we would consider this the last push up, then we are into discount, so looking for sells is not really smart and not something we do. We took out some really big liquidity, so that's also a bit uncertain and a bit strange to look for a sell into the downside. Yes, we could take out this low, but as of now, there are more bullish confirmations and confluences for me personally than bearish confluences. So this will be a waiting game as well. If I see something like this, I would be happy to look for longs together with the DXY then breaking down. And as I've told you before, there is a lot of room into the downside to grab liquidity, get into discount there. So there will be room to trade NU up higher. But until this does not happen, then there is nothing for me to do on NU currently. All right, then we have AU, and AU is a bit clearer for me. We took out some major liquidity here, and afterwards we broke into the downside, making this our supply zone. As of now, we came back into that supply zone, started to sell off a bit. But for me, it would be really, really great if we can, on the 4-hour, trade up back higher, because this, once again, is a lot of nothingness for me. All descending highs and not a real liquidation event. The only real small liquidation that happened was over here, and then we saw a break into the downside. But for me, this could mean that we can trade up a little bit higher. This would also mean that the DXY starts to sell down lower. So as of currently, there is no position for me to take. But again, because I see this kind of price action, I am even stronger considering to close off my EU short, because it's a bit against all the other pairs and the other movements I want to see. And it's not smart to keep a position open if you are almost certain that it's going into the other direction, or it's really uncertain what it's going to do. Keeping it open has no real value to it then. So for AU, we broke down bearish, so swing bearish. I want to see a retracement back into the 0.5 or the premium zone, and then see AU start selling off once again. As of now, there is no trade to be taken for me. All right, USD CAD. If we look at USD CAD, we can see that previously on the daily, we took out some lows over here, making us swing bearish. I did draw out my bigger swing position because there's a lot of consolidation from this low towards this high. But because we can't trade this big of a range, I want to make it smaller, and I look more internally. So if we look internally, we can see that we previously broke down, making this our swing move. We retraced back into the premium zone. We took out some major liquidity. This was a strong high previously that I wanted to trade from. So I had my supply zone drawn in here. We didn't respect that supply zone, so it's a waiting game once again. Also, this move does not have a lot of liquidity into it, so we can trade down lower, or at least we can trade towards this candle here, making this a green daily demand zone. So for me, it is possible that we see a bit of a retracement down, maybe one more push up, then a breakdown, and then we can trade towards the yearly open and this open demand zone here, and maybe from there look for more longs. Also, this would mean that the dollar continues down lower and then up again. So once again, it would confirm that we want to see the DXY trade lower towards the liquidity highs that I have been talking about earlier in this video. Then we have UJ, and UJ I am in a long position since last week. This was technically a really good setup for me. I can draw it out. We have a bullish swing structure over here. We break up, then we draw the retracement tool from the low towards the high. We want to see a retracement to at least 0.5, but it would be better if we're just in discount. We were in discount. We took out some liquidity underneath here. Even this little wick got wicked out with this wick here, creating a demand zone over here. And then we have the swing structure that's bullish. We have a supply/demand zone that was created. We took out some liquidity. We had a 50% retracement, and then all we wanted was the 4-hour fractal break. So what I did was on, I think it was, let's see, Wednesday night, I placed a buy stop on the 4-hour fractal break over here with the stop loss underneath this low. During the night, we got tapped into the position, and then last week there was a lot of nothingness, sideways price action. And I'm still holding this one. So let's see if we can get towards TP. If not, if everything turns around, because once again, if the dollar starts to sell down lower, I would love to close this position at break even, because then it will be technically not a good position anymore. And I rather stop this with break even than ride it all the way towards stop loss if there is no reason to. So that's it for me on UJ. Then on USD CHF, we had a bit of the same as on UJ, but as I was talking to you earlier about DXY, what I love to see is that this low would not have been a tap and go, but would be more of a come into the low a bit higher, then swipe the low and then break up. This was something I was waiting for on USD CHF as well. As you can see, we broke down to the upside being swing bullish. Then we have swing structure being bullish. We have supply and demand. There was not really a great demand zone, but this whole wick here would have been the 4-hour demand zone. So inside that demand zone, also inside the discount zone, and together with the yearly open, it was a strong buy position. We took out some liquidity here. I would have loved if we would have come back up, then down, and then I could have placed a buy stop order on the breaking of this candle as well, and then ride it up back to the upside. But we didn't get a position here because we couldn't check off the strong low, and I couldn't place a order because, as you can see, we are still currently in 4-hour bearish fractal structure, being a very big range. So for me, it's just the way the game once again. All right, then we're going to take a look at the JPY basket. For me, the JPY basket is bearish, also fundamentally bearish, and the only thing that can push this pair up currently would be intervention. But if we look at it pure technically, then I see room for more downside. We also we can remove this one. We came back up into the 0.5 after breaking structure to the downside. So we have a valid retracement. We took out some liquidity, not major liquidity, but some liquidity, which can be enough to make the next push into the downside. What we have to consider here is that this demand zone over here could also push price back up again, which is something I am counting on a bit because I want to get into a AJ position I will be talking about later, and I'm still waiting to get tapped into position. So a little bit of a retracement up for JPY would be good for me, then continuing down lower, but we will see what will happen because this liquidity here is not much, but it could be enough to push at least JPY a bit higher. So yeah, that's it for now. I want to see it go lower, but I am hoping to see a little bit of upwards movement, maybe to here, and then break down lower. Then we have your JPY, which is for me currently just consolidating sideways price action, and this one is real fast because I'm not trading this. I'm waiting for either a breakout to the upside or to the downside. We are still bearish if we look at the 4-hour swing structure between this low and this high, but this has just been a sideways price action, and I am waiting for this to get a clear direction before trading it. Then we have GBP, JPY. We came back into this massive 4-hour demand zone. We didn't break the highs over here. Did we sweep them though? That's an interesting thing. This is 307, 305, 311. So yeah, we did swipe this high. Afterwards we broke to the downside. So this is a fairly strong supply zone over here. This one. A 4-hour bearish chain, and we have some liquidity situated over here. We are still swing bullish though, so it's a bit unclear for me what we want to do. It depends on the JPY for me as well. So maybe something like this, and then this, or maybe even trading it up higher towards here into the supply zone, then wait for a break and then down. Or we just break the swing structure to the upside. If JPY really starts to trade down lower, then we can trade this one up higher. And then once again, there is still liquidity situated over here as well, which we can trade towards. But as of now, we are, for me, inside a retracement. Maybe if we start to see some real nice order flow over here. We are 4-hour bullish chain, and we trade up higher here once again. Maybe coming back into this zone here. Wait for a bit of confirmation and then trade up higher towards at least this liquidity over here. This could be a nice long together with that bearish yen currently. But as of now, it's just a waiting game for me. Nothing to see here. Then we have AJ, and AJ is real beautiful. What I wanted to see here is we came up like this. We have swing structure here like this. This is daily swing structure, by the way. We came back into the discount zone. We take out some major liquidity over here, having a deep retracement. Then what we wanted to do is wait for this high to go, because this was the last supply zone pushing price down lower. What we did is we broke that high. So with that, we've created, over here, this is the last one. We've created a demand zone, And now what I wanted to see is that we come back down into that demand zone. I placed my limit onto this 4-hour liquidity low over here. And together with the monthly open, I wanted to be a bit more safe, so I put my entry on the liquidity here. I'm waiting for that to get swiped and then continue in towards the upside together with that bearish yen. So that's why I said that on the yen, I would love to see a bit of a retracement up so we can get tapped into our position. And then this pair has a lot of room to go to the upside. So maybe we can even take a few longs over here. But first, let's get tapped on the first one. Then we have NJ. For me, it's a bit more unclear. We are bullish swing structure wise, but there has been a lot of upwards momentum without real liquidation, so we are following bearish structure over here. Depending on the JPY, what's that going to do? We didn't create a really nice low over here because we didn't swipe this one. We created fairly equal lows between this low and this low, together with the New Zealand dollar that's fundamentally weak as I understand it as of now. So for me, on this pair, there's not really a trade to be taken. Get JPY together with the daily. We took out some major liquidity over here. We are still trading. We have been trading up for quite some time now. Breaking the fractal here, creating somewhat of a supply chain over here. So also this is a bit unclear. As of now, we are still bearish because we didn't break this high. So it's either going to continue down lower, or what we have to do is wait for this high to go and then maybe look for something like this to continue back in towards the upside. But more development is needed for this pair. Last but not least, we have Swiss franc, Japanese yen. We were creating some really nice bullish order flow over here, but we broke that. We swiped the high over here, this being our swing low of that move. So we are still bullish between this high and this low. We nearly swiped that low, but we didn't exactly. We did break bullish here. So what we can expect is maybe a retracement down towards these two liquidity lows. Wait for confirmation. And then with a buy stop, we can trade this up higher because as of now, there's a lot of descending highs here, a lot of liquidity open. I would love to see that go, but we need some confirmation first. And there is still a lot of uncertainty currently, so I will be waiting for more confirmation on my trades, not take them without any of them being checked off. If I take a stop loss, I want it to be a A+ setup and do everything right, and the outcome can be negative in total trade revenue, of course. But if I can check off everything green in my journal at the end of the month, then I would have had a really great month. So that's what I'm going for. Then I want to look at gold. I am not actively trading this as of now. What I wanted to see is this high go, because this was previously the last supply zone that was pushing price down lower. I want to make it a bearish chain. But we broke that, so we became bullish for me. Also, we reacted to the yearly open, swiping this low over here, which was the really big drop from gold the beginning of February. As of now, we are once again stuck in some kind of range. this can go as well. So it would be really nice if we can take out some liquidity in this move up. So you can say, yes, we're going to look for shorts in this supply zone, but one of my rules is that I don't short gold. So I'm not going to do so. I've seen previously in my data that if I short gold, most of the time it's a loss. So for me, it's better to wait for a new long opportunity. So that's why I want to see gold retrace down lower, maybe towards the yearly open. Show me some confirmation again, and then I want to long it back up into the highs. But for now, that's also a waiting game. If you've watched all the way to the end, I want to thank you, and I'll see everyone that is watching tomorrow. Bye.